So today we're going to talk about abandonment and how abandonment affects the root chakra, right? Now the definition of abandon is to cease support or to desert. Most of us recognize this as a parent leaving us, parent running out on you. But it's not always that way. That's not the only way abandonment occurs. And the movie that actually inspired me to do this video is the movie Split. So it's like when it comes to abandonment, the pain that we experience when it comes to abandonment, that pain that we experience, it makes us become someone else. It makes us become someone else. So in the movie Split, the movie itself, the guy in the movie, he kidnaps these girls. And what they come to realize is he has multiple personalities. What is it? Like dissociative identity disorder. So he has multiple personalities. So first they have to grip what's really going on around them. They don't even know, what type of what they really dealing with. And actually, Split is a part of a trilogy. It's like I would put it in my top 3 for trilogies. I really would. I would put it behind Dark Knight trilogy. Because to me, it was that good. Between when you go from Unbreakable, which was, 20 years ago or whatever, then Split, and the way they concluded it with Glass was profound to me. I love Glass because it really brought everything full circle as far as explaining everything in the grips, and it helps in terms of what it is that I'm talking about. Because it's like I said, what happens when we experience pain from abandonment, right? When we are inflicted with this pain, we create a new version of ourselves. That new version of ourselves that we create is to protect the old version of ourselves, because that version was a victim. Okay? You lose all support in who you are. Support and foundation, all that has to do with the identity. At the very root, the very foundation of who you are, right? So in the movie itself anyway, between Split and Glass, they talk a lot about psychology, and they go into the dissociative identity disorder and how some of those psychologists linked it to literally being able to have superpowers just because of the way the brain is functioning. Because if you're not aware, when a person has multiple personalities like that, they can actually exhibit those different personalities. Like he had one personality that was a diabetic and needed insulin. The other ones did not. That is real life. You can look that up. You know what I mean? You can look that up. There's people that might be right-handed, when there's one personality, the other personality might be left-handed. Really look into that, because it really poses the question of just how powerful is the mind. Because all of this is just coming from the mind, and it's like a default mechanism from abandonment to split your personality, because that's if you don't properly heal. Because like I said, now you got to become something else, because that what you was a victim of being abandoned, of losing support. You see what I'm saying? Now, one key thing about all 3 of the movies, because there's a key concept throughout the whole movie. It's very symbolic, right? It all started with a train. Everything had to do with a train. Symbolically, train has to do with your brain, your mind, pathways. Dang, I lost my train of thought. Why do we say that? That's the symbology of a train in reference to the subconscious mind. So, in the first movie, Unbreakable, it was the train that derailed that allowed, what was his name? Dunn, what was the guy from Unbreakable? Anyway, it allowed him to become aware of his ability, that he couldn't be hurt. And it also showed us who Elijah was, and he came to terms with his role and who he was in everything. Now, when you get to Split, The whole time he has them kidnapped, he's showing these different personalities, and everybody's talking about the beast. Everybody refers to the beast. Go back to the beast. The beast is coming. The beast is coming. And on a particular day, well, whenever this day came, he went to that train station because that train was key. He went to that train station and he would turn into the beast and leave from the train station. And then when we see Glass, we realize that Kevin, who is the guy who is, with all the personalities, when he was a little boy, his dad was on that train. And his dad died. And he was left with his mom, who had dissociative identity disorder and other things, and she was like abusive and stuff like that. So that train derailment, it birthed the hero, but it killed Kevin's dad, which later on made the beast, because that was a personality that was created to protect Kevin because he was abused. If you remember, if you look at Split, he let the girl go at the end because he realized she was abused also. And that's why he said, oh, you're pure too. You have a pure heart. Because she was abused. Her uncle abused her. That's why she could connect with him. Because she had a split personality. You see what I'm saying? She had a split personality. That's why she could relate to him. She could understand him because she experienced a similar type of trauma. You see what I'm saying? I think her dad died also. Because it was it always showed her dad, and then all of a sudden it didn't show her dad. And then it was showing her uncle, and it became, obvious that he molested her, and so she had that bond, she made that connection with him, and so, that was the whole thing in the understanding about the train. That's why they talked about psychology. That was all about psychology. It was all about the mind. See, these are just symbols. So, when we experience that type of trauma, depending on the level of trauma, depending on the effect of the trauma, how long the trauma persists, depends on how extreme that split can be. Sometimes, we different people. You know what I mean? Who are we today? You know what I mean? We can be in a whole different space, be a whole different person. Why is that? And so abandonment is connected to the root chakra. And that root chakra gives you a sense of belonging. If there's an abandonment issue in a child's life, that experience could cause that child to internalize and as an adult, that wound, still display that wound through fear of intimacy, through rejection, or by abandoning their own, by actually doing the abandoning themselves to avoid someone abandoning them first. Or you ever seen somebody come on really, really strong, and then all of a sudden they just kind of ghost you? That ghosting shit, that's abandonment issues. People just be ghosting people. You don't hear from them. They just up and just disappear. You just thought they was vibing with you and all that, and then all of a sudden they just gone. Damn, where the hell they at? Abandonment issues. It could also look like the inability to be grounded. It could also look like not being able to settle down. Lacking commitment. Not eating well, you know what I'm saying? Because you lack the ability to nourish yourself properly, because you weren't properly nourished maybe in your youth, because you got emotional abandonment as well. And so at the base of your spine, that's where your root chakra sits at. It sits at the base of your spine and your tailbone. So it's connected to the color red, the planet Saturn, and it governs our ability to be grounded on this earth, along with, feeling safe and secure. And a lot of things that impact this center happens from ages 0 to 7. So that also includes being in the womb. So you have to understand, even when you're born, the birthing process is also in itself very traumatic. So you could just through a traumatic birth, could afflict your root chakra. You know what I'm saying? Being pulled or torn away from the safest place, the only place you've known for 9 months, that can have a toll on you energetically. But, there's means to be able to balance and to heal that energy center. Because, that energy center is all about embodiment. You're born to, you have a body, but you still must be present in that body. You still have embodiment. Is like being able to fully enter your physical vehicle or body and experience life through it. You have to be able to experience life through it. Now it's like your fall from heaven. You know what I'm saying? It's the fall from heaven story is pretty much talking about your soul descending down into a physical vessel, confining you now to this physical body. Now a healthy root chakra, when it's healthy, it brings full expression to your physical existence. So this is why a lot of people relate money problems to the root chakra, because everything about your experience, you want to embody it, right? So your desires have a lot to do with that root chakra too. So this is where, a lot of people make their connection where it pertains to money. So they say if you're struggling with money, work on your root chakra. Because always remember, it's what grounds you to the physical earth. So you gotta remember that the earth is abundant, right? So when you plant a tree, that tree grows, is going to give apples abundantly. Maybe they're not gonna fall always all the time, but it's gonna be of abundance. So the earth gives abundantly. So it's an attitude of there's enough, there's always enough, there's more than enough for everybody. That's having a healthy, root chakra. So when we're born, we're little babies. You got to look at a child, little babies especially. They're happy. They're exploring everything in their environment. They're happy, and full in their bodies. It's as we get older that we tend to grow out of that, because we get less out of who we are and more into our environment. You know what I'm saying? We get more into the patterns of the environment that we have to adapt versus the patterns of our body. It's like, it's time to eat, but you may not be hungry, but it may be time to eat. You see what I'm saying? Or it's like, have you ever been told, hey, eat your food? It's people out here who don't have any food. You see what I'm saying? So that's like adapting patterns outside of yourself based on your environment. That's why your tribe and your community plays such a pivotal role in that root chakra, because it's from ages 0 to 7. So you don't really have no control over how you're nurtured in that time, for the most part. That's when you have the least amount of control, if I should say it. Because each one of us, we're all unique and worthy of love. We're all here to recognize our gifts and to celebrate them. But it's a lot of y'all out there who ain't celebrating your gift. That's a blocked root chakra, because you're not celebrating yourself. You out here hiding your gift when you're supposed to be celebrating, because ain't nobody else on the whole earth like you. It is nobody else out there on the whole earth that is like you. So whatever it is that's in you, that's what you got to give out to the world. So when you keeping it, when you block, you're not flowing, that's another thing that's going to mess with your abundance. There's plenty of space for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to tell yourself. It's plenty of space for you. Own your space. You know what I'm saying? Life will start to change for you when you start to do that. You know what I'm saying? Your posture get better. You stand up taller. You know what I'm saying? Your body gonna feel better. You're gonna be more healthy. Everything gonna improve. People around you gonna bring out more positivity in the people that's around you. As your energy opens up, people are just going to respond to you differently. But you also got to understand that some people are going to fear that too, because people who don't know how to let themselves flow are always going to have some pushback towards the people who do. People who hold themselves back, they always feel threatened by people who going to let theirs flow. It's like if a person has the capacity to shine at 100 watts and they're shining at 40, you know what I mean? That other person shining at 100 watts is going to be too bright for them. They're going to tell them to dim their light. You know how they like to say that? Be humble. That's how they come out. And then be humble, because that's literally the definition of humble, is to dim your light. That's what it means. That's why I don't like to particularly use that. I understand to dim the light to the source of light, but I'm not dimming my light to make nobody else comfortable. I'm not doing that, and I dislike when people do that. Okay, now here's what a weakened or blocked chakra can look like too. Okay, increased anxiety. If you're dealing with a lot of anxiety, you having panic attacks, if you feeling like if you're feeling unsafe a lot of times, if you're feeling like a lot of negativity towards yourself and others, if you having physically low back pain, lower body pain, all of those are like signs of a blocked root chakra. If you got cold hands and feet, that's another sign too. So that's another way that it can show itself in your physical body, as far as things that you may experience due to that energy center just being blocked and weakened. Okay, so here's some things that can help too. So what you can do, you can use root chakra stones. So this is gemstones. This is just a way to help work with vibration. So that's a means of vibration, working with gemstones or certain essential oils, wearing the color red a lot, getting some red. Hey, go buy you some red shoes, some red earrings, get you a lot of red, do a lot of grounding. Please do some grounding activities. That's like, walking outside bare feet, get in nature, just go take a hike, literally walk on a trail, go biking on the trail, hike up a mountain, or something in nature to get you grounded. Be around some trees, do some tree hugging. I mean, you could do that. Do nature things. You want to be grounded. You want to get grounded. That's one of the really essential ways. Like if you're into pottery, you could do pottery. Planting. If you don't have your own garden, if you ever thought about doing it, if it's something that you've thought about, look into doing it. Look into doing that. Planting, even just doing flowers, just doing your garden, any of those type of things. You can grow little small herbs. Just those little small things that can help as well. There's meditation. You can do visualization. And as far as the gemstones, let me be specific with the gemstones. You could use red jasper, obsidian, bloodstone. Some of those are the gemstones you can use for the root chakra. As far as you can look into your diet. There's foods that help with the root, as far as rooted foods that usually have a root. Root chakra affirmations. Some affirmations you can use, like I am safe and secure. I have a healthy body, healthy mind, an abundant life. Just get into nature. Just do things like that, and that'll really help with that root chakra and help you work through some of those issues. And you can always get with me for a reading, because I'm always available for a reading too. So that's cool too. So feel free to hit me up if you got any questions or anything. I hope you found this helpful, and share it with somebody if you think it'll help them. Peace.